Today, for the very first time, we're going to be checking out the brand new, brutal ARCHSPIRE album. This is Too Fast to Die. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another album review / reaction here on the channel. It is later at night, several days from the release of this album, but we are here and we are excited to listen to something that is going to be quite different for me. I've only heard a couple of this band's songs, and my one question the entire time, Chris, when we've been listening to these is, boy, I sure don't see how it'd be enjoyable to listen to an entire album of this. And we're going to find out today. So, thank you everybody for watching. My name is Patrick. This is Chris. And we are going to be listening. Have you listened to this yet, by the way?
No, I was a good boy and didn't. I have heard half of the songs on this album because they released half. There's 8 songs on this record. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. And they released 4 of them, I believe, as singles.
Okay.
And I only listened to I probably only listened to Red Goliath and the Vessel once or twice. I listened to Carrion Ladder a couple times, because did we watch the video for that?
Yes, that was the Carrion Ladder is the song from this album that I have heard, and we reacted to the song, and then we also reacted to the video as well.
Yes, okay.
So, yep. Yeah. So I'm excited to hear this band in this album in its entirety and to see what this band has to offer. And one thing I'm curious about is, can they change it up enough from song to song to keep me interested the entire time? The album's not a super long album, but it is close to 40 minutes. It's 39 minutes, 24 seconds. So definitely a full-length album. There's only 8 songs, but all of the songs are pretty chunky lengths. There's nothing below 4. 13 is the shortest song. And everything is between 4 and 6. So, you know, we talk here on the channel a lot about albums that have 12 songs, and all of them are like 2 minutes long. And that's kind of a sucky length for an album, but I'd rather have something like this where you have a shorter number of songs, but they're all pretty chunky lengths. So I'm pretty excited.
All of their records have 8 songs except for one of them.
Interesting. Do you think
for some reason I looked that up the other day?
Yeah. Do you think they do that on purpose, or it's just how it works out? Because I was looking them up just a little bit. I haven't really looked into this band ever. I don't know anything about them other than what we've talked about in our reactions to them. We did a reaction to Carrion Ladder, and then you included one of their songs in your video we have here on the channel, where we each went through and showcased sort of like songs that represent our musical taste, and you chose an ARCHSPIRE song. Mm-hmm. And so I don't remember which one that one was. Do you remember?
It was probably Involuntary Doppelganger.
It could have been. Yeah, it looks like that one has 7 million plays on their Spotify just as I scroll down here. But I was looking and I was curious to see they only have 4 albums. I thought they'd been a band for a little longer than that, but it looks like they have been a band. 2014 was their first album. So they have albums in 2014, 2017, 2021, and now 2026. So this is the longest amount of time they've spent between albums. So it'll be interesting. Wow. And yeah, I don't. For those of you who are joining if you haven't seen or aren't familiar with the channel, haven't seen any of our videos before, I am not generally like a brutal death metal type of guy, and I have never listened to any tech death metal other than what Chris has shown me. So now I do listen to certain pretty heavy bands. I would consider them to be pretty heavy, but I don't think they're generally the bands that I listen to that I would consider to be the heaviest bands I listen to. They also sprinkle less heavy moments in. So it's not just a constant barrage of heaviness. There are very few albums that I actually own that I like that are constantly heavy the entire time, with just, you know, grunts and screams and harsh vocals the entire time, without there being little bits of singing here and there. But I do enjoy certain things, and we'll just have to see what happens. But yeah, I'm excited to hear this and see what comes of it. So...
Oh, founded in 2009, it says. So these guys have been a band for...
Oh, interesting.
Over 15 years.
Oh, while I'm thinking about it, Chris, would you be interested in doing a reaction to when it releases? I think I have it listed in my phone. Would you be interested in doing a reaction with me to the new Necrogoblicon album when that comes out?
Sure.
Because I think that comes out in June, which June is looking like a crazy month. We've got new Raunchy, new Evanescence, new Necrogoblicon, new what else? New Evergrey, new lot of good stuff. A lot of good stuff coming out in June.
This might be the first time that ARCHSPIRE and Evanescence have been on the same video.
Oh, give it time. Amy Lee will feature in one of their songs at some point. It'd be awesome. Probably not, but hey, it'd get a lot of eyes on ARCHSPIRE, that's for sure.
They're the fastest band in the world.
Yes, they have made that claim. Yep. And I couldn't believe it when we listened to Carrion Ladder and he starts the song off going, oh my God. And it made me want to watch Metalocalypse again, when I've only seen the first season.
It is. It's like, I mean, Metalocalypse is goated for sure.
Sure.
But like, I think that deep in his heart of hearts, or maybe out loud, I don't know, but I think that what Brendan Small was trying to do was ARCHSPIRE. Mm-hmm. I think that that's what he meant, because it's just like,
yeah.
I really probably shouldn't say this out loud, but it's the internet, and who's going to pay attention to this or leave comments down below about the stupid stuff I say. But like, ARCHSPIRE is just like kind of better Deathclog.
I mean, yeah, from what I've heard,
the songs are almost, well, are they? I don't know. The stuff with Deathclog, like the lyrics are just so awesomely stupid.
Yeah.
Like metal lyrics should be.
For sure. Speaking of something incredibly metal, I just wanted to shout out to everybody how awesome my day has gone today so far. So I got up at 6:30 so I could leave around 7:30 to head to the hospital. And I was there for 12 and a half hours until about, I was there from 7. Well, I left home at 7:30, got there, had my first appointment at 9, had my last appointment at 4, and then did a couple things in Omaha. But I was gone for 13 hours. Just got home about an hour ago. So I was thankful when you were like, can we push it back a couple hours? I was like, yes. But I wanted to just say, my day today has gone from I got 3 shots. I have 2 Band-Aids up here I got my pneumococcal bacalakalaka shot, the one for mumps, measles, and rubella, I think. One for, what's the other thing that's going around? Right? Shingles. I got my first shingles shot. That one's over on this arm because apparently it's supposed to hurt and be pretty bad the few days after. And then I had, I'll show this and see. I don't know if I have to blur this or not, but I did a bone marrow biopsy this morning where they go into my spine and pull out some bone marrow fluid and spinal fluid. And then my doctor, who is a different doctor, was observing me when we were doing that procedure, which is not a big deal. I mean, it is a big deal, but it's not a big deal. I've had like 35 of those or whatever so far. But I have like a rash, kind of like we don't know what's causing it yet. But so they had to do another biopsy of my leg and pull some skin out of my some flesh from my thigh to send that to get tested. So I've had a pretty metal day so far, I would say. And yeah, I just wanted to shout out to everybody. If you've never thought about becoming a donator for any cancer or anything like that, or donating blood or donating plasma or anything like that, you can really help and you can literally save people's lives. So check out cancer.gov if you want to learn more about that, or just go to any local blood donation, blood bank, whatever, donate stuff. It really does help. And now let's get into the album. So Chris, are you going to be listening on Spotify or are you pulling this up on Tidal?
I have it on Tidal.
You have it on Tidal. Okay. So we'll see. I'm sure it'll be the exact same thing, but we'll have to see if we notice any difference.
Since this is nominally an audio podcast, I will say that I have Tidal pulled up. It looks like they have refreshed their web interface, as they often do. I usually listen to Tidal on my phone, not on my computer. And here I have the last song evidently I was listening to on my computer pulled up. And over in the corner, there's a little rectangle that is, it looks like advertising the bit rate and, sample rate and bit depth. Why would I say bit rate? Anyway, would you like to guess what numbers are in that rectangle?
No, I don't want to guess. Just tell me.
It's very funny because, and it looks like it's supposed, like there's a little bit of like blue backlighting to the button. And
right. So it's like a fancy
is it actually a button? Ooh, oh, it takes you to your audio settings if you click on it. Anyway, it's 16-bit 44.1 kilohertz.
Hey, there you go. CD quality.
How far have we strayed from the light of God? I had students asking me the other day, like, Chris, is it worth it to record at 96K? And like, whatever. And like, I explained that like, yeah, sometimes it does. It's kind of like taking slow motion video. Like if you're going to slow something down, like it's definitely worth it. And there are probably some archival reasons and stuff like that to record at crazy high sample rates. But like, you can't hear it. And I also reminded them, I said, CDs were all at 16-bit 44.1 and CDs sounded good. And even now in the streaming era, like people talk about that listening to CDs is a high quality way to listen to music, right? And isn't it so funny that we can record at 192 kilohertz if you want, and whatever, 24-bit. Oh, and this, whatever. I'm not going to even say another thing that's very silly, but like we can do all of this stuff. And like, okay, I will say the silly thing. Yeah. One of the students asked me if they thought that like 32-bit float was a reasonable playback thing. And it's so funny to me that we can talk about those things. And at the same time, I have my streaming service, which maybe isn't the best one, but it's a good one. It's better than Spotify. Yeah. Is advertising that CD quality, which we've had since the dawn of digital audio, essentially. And then we're advertising it as like something that we want.
Well, but think about it. There was a big regression in music quality for a long time. You know, when 128 kilobits or even lower was considered the standard for people who were acquiring their files on the internet. You know, that's not, you know, so it's, I'm happy we're finally back to this, but yeah. Do you think do you think everything should be recorded in 24-bit now? I mean, obviously, I would assume most computers have the ability to do that without an issue at all. So
I record and mix music at 24-bit 48K.
You do 48K as well? Okay. I mean, that's video standard, so.
I don't know. I chose that one time and it seems to run fine on all of my stuff, so that's what I do. But if the final product was CDs, I would record at 16:44.1.
Do you think so? Really?
If the final product was CDs, absolutely.
Yeah, but I mean, there isn't too much. You can convert that pretty easily, right?
Yeah, and people say that computers are good at math, and I believe them, but because it's true. Yeah. But I don't know, like converting, I mean, I guess I do it, but like what I upload, when I upload stuff to streaming services, I upload WAV files, 24-bit 48K. Maybe that's why I do it. Maybe somewhere it was recommended that like the streaming services want 24-bit 48K.
Sure. That's awesome. Like on Bandcamp, people could probably download the music from that, like at that quality then, which is awesome.
Yeah, I probably would have about the flip of a coin. I don't know. Maybe on a really good playback system, I could do better than the flip of a coin on telling the difference between CD quality in 24-bit 48K, but I am not 100% sure I would get it every. I know I wouldn't get it every time.
Well, yeah, and it's some music is just mixed bad. So you know what I mean? Like, doesn't matter what you do at that point because it just you screwed it up somewhere down the line. You know, way down.
Well, but I mean, bad streaming just sounds like
right. There's artifacting stuff for sure, 1,000%.
Like all of the I'm getting on you across this internet.
Yeah, probably
voice chat that we're doing right now.
You sound great to me, and that's all that matters is me recording on my end. So, okay. I might cut some of that out. I might put it at the end of the video. We'll see what happens. But we can't have a video here unless we talk for a minimum of 15 minutes before we get to the album. So we've reached that quota, and it's time to get to the music. So what we're going to do here, if you're new, is we are going to listen to a song, and we'll probably be doing some talking over the song. However, depending on how crazy this is, it might be a little difficult to talk about, but we'll see what happens. But we might do some talking over it if we're talking about production stuff. We don't give a crap about the lyrics. We're not going to break those down, and I don't think there's going to be any heartfelt lyrics to break down here anyway. Interesting to note that none of the songs are explicit, so that's kind of cool, interesting. I do see on Spotify, for me, the lyrics are available to look at. Oh, no, I take it back. That's a different album. I apologize.
Well, they sing in Canadian, so
oh, there you go.
We might.
Oh, we got to get our accents on, eh? So we got to pretend like we're watching curling when we're doing this reaction here. But seriously, we will talk over the songs, then we'll pause between every song. There's only 8 songs, so we'll pause between each one. We'll discuss what we thought about the song, and then after we're done with the whole album, we will give our sort of overall thoughts, and then the video will be done. But you can click around on the timestamps that I'll have on the timeline, so you can click on around. In the description of the video, we'll also have links to all sorts of important stuff, so check that stuff out. But most importantly, we'll have a link to our Discord there, where we have an awesome metal community that's expanding into just other genres of music, as well as I'm going through the 21 Pilots reactions. We've got Evanescence reactions coming up. Shout out to Amy Lee and her brilliant single that was released last week. We've got lots of fun stuff and lots of great people on our Discord, so come check that out if nothing else, because we have lots of great people there, and we're slowly building an awesome community, so check that out. And now, without further ado, let's get into track 1, Liminal Cypher. Are you ready, Chris?
Yes.
This is track 1, Liminal Cypher, in 3, 2, 1. Okay.
See, it doesn't start heavy.
I was expecting it too, but okay. See, they do this so that when the metal kicks in, it blasts your head off, you know? I mean, that's an old Metallica trick, right?
It's an old everyone trick.
It's an old everyone trick, but yeah. Specifically blackened, right? And
there is no darkness without light.
Yes, exactly. So is this one of the songs you haven't heard?
Yeah, I might have listened to the first couple seconds of it by accident.
Okay. This is stupid. I love it. It's so stupid. It's so dumb.
That is what's great about it.
Oh, that bass.
That's so good.
Okay. I hope someone has shown this to Eminem at some point, or all these people that think that they're fantastic and fast, because they don't know, right? You know what I mean? Like, ooh, soaring chorus here. Will we even get choruses on this album at all, or anything that would be?
We'll get choruses.
You think so? Okay.
Something.
Listen to that snare. There's so much definition to the guitars. You know, it's so... It sounds great.
It does.
Ooh. Ooh, those kick hits. How do you roll on the kick drum? You know?
Yeah.
Oh. The tom drums sound amazing, right? Everything sounds nice and dry. So clear. Take a breath. All right, so it'll probably do this till the end, I would assume, of the song.
Probably.
Okay, we'll pause it.
Oh, it's a big ring out.
Yeah.
So the next one has to start super intense.
Oh, yeah, the next one's going to start, like, I paused it right at the perfect time. It didn't do anything.
I'm on 5:16 of 5:16 of the last
Okay, yeah, I paused it at 000 of the next one. Okay, so what are your thoughts on that one, then?
I mean, ARCHSPIRE is what metal's supposed to be.
Certainly a side of it. I agree with that.
It sounds really good. I think
it does. It sounds fantastic.
I think that there's, like, my take right now is that this was probably an incredible amount of work to mix.
Yeah.
Because, like, and that is a thing that they do. There's a lot of left and right guitar stuff, right? But then there's also when it goes just to bass. And then also you have the whatever atmospheric, slow, clean parts. Since I have not heard that song before, and like I didn't obsess over any of the singles that came out. I didn't listen to them 10 times in a row. Carrion Ladder was the first one that came out. I listened to Carrion Ladder probably 10 times total, but not like in one day. But like you can tell that when those tom fills happen, and some other drum things, like, I don't think it's all playing that's changing the sound. Like, obviously, like, the snare is not getting hit the same way when it's a blast beat compared to when it's a more regular beat. But the drum sound changes. It's crazy dry and deep when it's heavy and slow snare. And when it goes to blasting, of course, he's not hitting it nearly as hard. But
and same thing with the kick, too, I presume, right? Because you could tell there were times in there where the low frequencies came out of the kicks, but then there were other times where they were just booming the low frequencies
Well, when it's doing 16th notes at
right.
240 or whatever, like, what are you going to do?
Right, exactly. Like I said, it sounded like he was rolling on the kick drum, which is insane.
That was the thing that got me. I think the first ARCHSPIRE song I ever heard was off Believe the Future? No, Relentless Mutation, of course. And it was probably Involuntary Doppelganger. Mm-hmm. And those kick.
Yeah.
Like, anyway.
Yeah.
I'm very excited. I think I'm going to go. I haven't bought tickets yet, but they play in Omaha maybe before this video or maybe after this video comes out. I haven't bought tickets yet, but I'm going to.
So it's really soon then, huh?
It's in May.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. Well, that's
towards the end of May, but
that's awesome then.
Because
you should definitely do that.
The other tech death band that I really, really like is Psychroptic, and I've seen them twice now. And the first time, like, that was my thing. I'm like, well, is tech death real? Mm-hmm. Can people really do this? And they can. And I bet ARCHSPIRE does this too.
I'm sure they do.
Right? Absolutely superhuman. I have no idea how you play that fast.
Or how he does those vocals. Like, how is that even possible?
And that was another crazy thing. Like, it's double tracked.
A lot of it is.
Like, right? Because, or it might be triples.
I think he's doing triples during some of the overdubbing.
Right, because there's like sort of more, you get the high-end whispery stuff on the outsides and the main vocal in the middle, but like...
Yep.
Does it make it easier that it's really fast? I don't know. But, like, you still have to be so good. To
pinpoint accurate. It sounds like. I mean, it really does. And I love the way he's doing his overdubs. I mean, he's approaching it kind of like rappers would approach doing the overdubs for rapping, right? At the ends of the phrases, the parts that make sense musically for him to have extra layers in there, he does. And then a couple times they did this thing where it kind of split his voice to like be a fake stereo sound or something, and it was reverbed and more out in the back. And there were times when he was doing a bit of a higher thing that sounded kind of weird. And for a second I was like, oh. Yeah, for a second,
on the sides, that was so sweet.
Yes, it was awesome. I was like, "Is this the chorus?" Because then he did kind of do that again later on, but it wasn't the same kind of pattern. So I think it was a different. It's really hard for me, not having listened to stuff like this very often. Like, it's very hard for me to ever know what part of the song we're ever in, and I think that's kind of one of the points of it, is that you just kind of. It is just what you're on the ride, and that's what it is, So
well, in which ARCHSPIRE, it's like, how much are they going to make? Like the first. Like, because the first heavy part, I'm pointing up here because my title is on the top monitor. The first heavy, fast part was like really stressful, right? It was like really repetitive. And it went like maybe 2 times longer. Mm-hmm. Not like twice as long, but like another 2 repetitions longer than I thought it was going to before. Because that's kind of the game with ARCHSPIRE. Like, how long are they going to make you do blast beats?
Right.
Until they go back to clean guitar. Mm-hmm. But anyway.
And another thing I was going to say, too, is when the song started, it was, I think, I was trying to tell, but I'm pretty sure it was rhythm guitar on the right, rhythm guitar on the left, doing crazy complex thing. And then it was 2 lead parts in the middle. And it was like crazy, like harmonized guitar solo part stuff, like lead stuff going on. But then the rest of the song, I believe most of the lead stuff was all like dubbed, like another track in the middle, for the most part, panned in the middle. But the very beginning of the song did have the quadruple guitars, right? Or more than that, maybe, depending on how they're recording their rhythm tracks. Do you think it's just one rhythm track, or do you think that they're like reamping stuff and doing all that?
There's got to be 2 performances of the rhythm track on each side.
I would assume so as well, but it just sounds so crisp and nice. I mean, it sounds fantastic. But I thought that was interesting, and I kind of want to pay attention to when in the song are we hearing something that is like an overdub or an extra track, and how are they treating it? Is it, because they were doing cool stuff with like, there's something on the left, there's something on the right. There's, it wasn't crazy, but every now and then there were, and I'm not just talking about when just the guitar on the right's playing, then just the guitar on the left is playing. They had like stuff clearly was like chopped off, like audio wise, like they didn't just stop playing. They literally cropped audio file. You know what I mean? So there was fun stuff like that. And then there was one pause in the song where everything stopped for a second and then kept going. I'm curious how much we hear that as well. But yeah, I liked it. I don't know if I'm going to continue to like it if every song is just that the entire time, but I might. We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. Okay, we're now on to Red Goliath.
This was one of the singles. This was the second to last one they put out before the record came out.
Mm-hmm. It's got 394,000 plays on Spotify. And I will say while we're here, Carrion Ladder has 1 million plays, 1,050,000 plays. And then
they're doing it with Canadian bot farms.
And then
they got bot farms running off maple syrup up there. I know it.
Track 6, Limb of Leviticus, that has 800,000 plays. So that's the second most played song. So just to mention that. Okay, we're on to Red Goliath in 3, 2, 1. Okay. It didn't just start.
It kind of faded.
Yeah.
In the next song.
Oh my gosh. I like the delays they'll have sometimes on like his vocal there. I mean, that's at least 4 takes of vocals, or 3 at least. That was so white noisy, all of that. The whole thing was just white noise.
And now it's like calm.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This is... Oh
my gosh. This feels really cool because it's so much slower, but it's still fast compared to so many other bands, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it feels like this is like slow. Yeah. Lasted for like a measure. Oh, what the heck? Oh. That was an interesting chord progression. Whoa.
Yeah, some weird volume stuff going on there. And this is the chorus.
Yes. I love the lead guitar in the background. That's really
that's
a good
what
melody.
Makes it.
Oh, I think I got a word. I think he said decapitate. His vocals here are really interesting. I did not expect
this faded out.
I did not expect this. We had to get out the fade out board for ARCHSPIRE. 1 out of 8 is a failing grade.
I don't know that. Yeah, that's 12%, 12.5%.
Well, one out of 800 is a failing grade, but for me, but okay, interesting.
I did not know. I did not remember that did that.
You probably never made it to the end. You were died before you got there every time.
I guess maybe.
I
Wait,
will say,
that was the last. Was that the last? Second to last one.
Second to last single. It must have been.
Yeah.
Yep. Or actually, no. It looks like the Vessel and Liminal Cypher have less plays.
Liminal Cyphers wasn't a single.
Oh, so that's just people listening now. Okay,
yeah,
gotcha.
Listening.
Okay, because then the final few the tracks 4, 7, and 8 all have between 60 and 75,000 plays.
4, 7, and 8 were not
ever released.
No, so Liminal Cypher, Anomalous, Descent, Deadbolt, The Backward, and Too Fast to Die are the ones that were not released as singles. Yeah. But like, whatever, we don't have to do this. But that is wild that half of the record came out as singles beforehand.
Yeah. Well, nowadays it's not uncommon for a band to release a single every month for 12 months, and then at the end of the year they're like, "We released an album." It's like, no, you didn't. You released 12 singles. But
I don't know. I think that I'm better with that.
It's keeping your name in the algorithm so people don't forget about you. You know what I mean? And I understand that. That's why every band releases a single like the week before their album comes out, so that they're in the algorithm.
Yeah, but that's the way it's been forever.
I guess
that part has been the same way.
I guess. I mean, I don't remember that. When I remember growing up, I remember hearing like 1 or 2 songs on the radio for like months before the album would come out. Maybe less than that.
Really?
Couple weeks, maybe not. You're right. Maybe you are right. It's just a couple weeks, and then you just hear the singles on the radio forever after the album came out. Whereas now it seems like you build up to the album, and then once the album's out, you don't really hear the songs anymore because the album's out. But I mean, I don't listen to the radio very much. So,
no,
but like
ARCHSPIRE's not on the radio in Canada, almost surely, because Canada has laws that dictate that.
ARCHSPIRE must be representative.
No, but Canadian artists have to be.
Oh, okay.
And
I actually knew that. Yeah.
I think that is why Canada has an oversized presence in American music culture. I really think that's why. Because, right, like, you start thinking about all these bands that you like, and, I mean, you think about 38 Special, you think about Creedence,
Katie Lang.
You think about, okay, I was doing American bands as a joke, and then you ruined it.
No, I was trying to think of the most ridiculous Canadian artist I could.
No, I was trying to think of the most American bands ever. I was going to do Greenwood
Bruce
next.
Springsteen.
Yeah, Bruce Springsteen, obviously Canadian. But Avril and Celine and
Justin Bieber.
Justin Bieber.
Yep. Nickelback.
Drake. Nickelback.
Yep.
Right, and whatever.
A lot of people. But honestly, a lot of my favorite artists are Canadian. You know, Birthday Massacre, one of my favorite bands. They're from Canada. Lights,
really?
my
That's
favorite pop star. You know,
I don't know.
I like my Canadian music.
Okay. That was great. And I think that is a thing that we probably... I think we need more of that in metal music, where the guitar lead... Somebody's gonna like murder me and give me like 100 examples of where that's the case. But like, you're not gonna sing a big chorus melody in real metal music, not in modern metal music. like maybe you have a repeating vocal that's catchy because like ARCHSPIRE doesn't really do that.
Yeah.
As far as I can remember right now, at least, but like to have, and that one wasn't even as like obvious and like cheesy as it possibly could be,
but it was definitely noticeable, and I liked it. The
first one was a single one, and the second one was a double chorus.
Yep.
Was there only two?
I think so, and it was what didn't happen until halfway through the song too.
Yeah, it's not traditional song structure, which will probably
for sure
hurt your brain, but.
I think I will say one thing that just so that people don't yak at you in the comments. Well, I mean, a lot of bands do that, but as I've been going through and familiarizing myself with Trivium a little bit, they definitely are a band that does that a lot. Where they're singing the thing over the top of it too. I get it, but Chris Parker and I have pointed out when we're listening to them on the first album we reacted to, Shogun, they had a lot of like lead guitar melodies over the choruses while he was doing a singy thing. And that's not something that every band does. And we pointed it out as something we both really enjoyed a lot. But then their next album, which we listened to, which is In Waves, they barely did that at all on the album.
We haven't even listened to the good one yet.
We haven't done Ascendancy, and we've only done those two.
Okay.
So
Ascendancy, to me, and like there was some interesting stuff in the Discord about that, like everybody has a favorite Trivium album, and everybody who says it's not Ascendancy is wrong. But
yeah.
Anyway, that's interesting.
Sorry, that's right. I wanted to talk about the song a little bit though, because the crazy white noise part of that song did happen 3 times. I don't think that was the chorus, but it happened at the beginning, it happened in the middle, and it did happen at the end again.
Oh, yeah, it's just like the main ref.
Well, kind of. And so I was going to ask you, do you think, if you can remember it, do you think it was the guitars giving it that feeling or the vocals? Because the vocals were definitely doing something different. And to me, it sounded like they were really pushing certain frequencies in his voice that made it sound more white noisy. And they were like not pleasant frequencies. Like I don't want to say it was shrill, but it was like it was frequencies that I would probably scoop out, and they seemed like they were really boosting that during that section. And do you think that was intentional, or do you think it was like a stylistic thing, or do you think it was coming from the guitars more so than the vocals?
I didn't really hear it that way. I guess in that stuff, I was really surprised at this album is like compressed to the absolute hilt.
I can't imagine looking at the waveform. I will see it after the fact.
It is a brick.
I'm sure it is.
I mean, well, it's a brick, and then there's some dynamic range a little bit when it gets to the clean parts.
Sure.
And then it goes back to being a brick again. But like how dry and fast decay the cymbals are is like, because I think he's beating the crap out of those cymbals. And I know that it's like, you can do metal with a lot of overheads or very little overheads, and this is towards the very little end of the spectrum. But like, there's one over here. Wait, which way am I mirrored? Anyway, on
your right side.
The ride side, it's a China or something. And if you're new to the channel, Patrick and I are famous for not knowing what the names of the symbols are, but there is a really splashy thin one. It's probably some sort of a China or trash symbol over on that side. But it's just gone. And like kind of the same thing with the hi-hat. Like, I mean, it's mostly closed all the time. Like, it's not washy hi-hat. Like, he's not doing little rolls with the thing that's a big part of the song or something. But it's not just a wash in cymbals, which it absolutely could be. And it could still be okay like that, but that's not what it is.
And the cymbals definitely, with as compressed as everything is, I think this is kind of where you started your thought. As compressed as everything is, the cymbals sound like cymbals, like you said, with real decay and things. So it's not just this one long, like you said, it's not washy sounding. it's not just sidechain compressed all to hell, so that you're hearing the cymbal volume doing this. This is very much. It does sound really nice.
Yeah,
I think the whole album sounds fantastic. Like, regardless of what the brick looks like, I think it sounds fantastic.
No, they're pulling off the illusion very well. Like,
yeah,
it has to be very compressed, and it doesn't really sound like that.
No, and they're doing a lot of things that separate the sections of the song, even if it's just a little 2 to 7 second section, that make it sound different, especially vocally. He is doing so much vocally to make it sound
many
different.
Vocal tracks.
They did, yes.
It is unreal.
The dude must just love that, just sitting and doing the same thing a bunch, and then just I don't know if they mix it themselves, some of this, or
I don't know.
Hold on, let me look.
It's no major label. It's them.
On Spotify, you can look at credits now. So it says, let me see here. Production and engineering, Dave Otero is the producer, and he is not in the band. It says Jared Smith, Dean Lamb, Toby Morelli, and Oliver Peters are the dudes in the band. And they're all listed as composer, lyricist, and songwriter. All 4 of the dudes. And then for production, it says producer Dave Otero, and then assistant engineer Mike Lowe. And then it has the
two guys did this whole record. So Dave and
Mike.
Dave and Mike did this whole record, and they're probably very Canadian.
Insert clip of South Park, the South Park, the Canadian show in South Park that they watch with the dudes whose heads move, whatever that's called. Whatever, you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Well, why can't
it's
Terrence and Phillip?
Yeah, Terrence and Phillip. Yeah.
Anyway, okay, let's listen to the third song.
Okay, let's do it. I'm ready. You have to spend this is the one we heard, so I'm okay. I'm excited to hear this again. This is Carrion Ladder in 3, 2, 1. They should study those vocals at the beginning when it's just the vocals in class.
It's so good. I think the last words there were Carrion Ladder.
I wasn't trying to figure that out, but possibly. This is going to sound so silly, but I actually think this song is way more simple than the other 2 we heard in terms of what the guitars are doing especially. And this song is meant to be a feature for his vocals, at least so far. I mean, the rhythm guitars have only done 2 notes the entire time.
Wow.
Whereas I feel like they were doing a lot more technical stuff in the first 2 songs. Well, yes, the lead stuff. And this is the same exact sound he had on the lead guitar on the other song. Same thing. So really nice, keeping that consistency.
I think the vocals are a lot more either loud or present in this song than they are in the other ones.
I think so. love when they did this in the previous song too. This kind of like extended, somewhat more simplified riff section, but they're going to interesting. It's like an interesting pattern, like chords. You know what I mean? I paused it.
So good.
So yeah, I think that song was intentionally a little bit more. To me, it felt easier to follow what the guitars were doing, the rhythm guitars specifically, and the lead guitars were doing like sweepy type of things and then fast picking stuff. But it was never like to my untrained guitarless dumb ears. It didn't sound overly complicated. It was way easier to follow that song, and it felt like especially the first half was all about like, listen to how crazy these vocals are. Like, let's make a meme, let's get a viral moment with like how crazy this stuff is. Not that they're going for that, but like, I mean, it's worthy of that. And they should, because it's freaking awesome. But like, I felt like that was a lot more straightforward of a song, as silly as that sounds to call something that incredible like straightforward. But I just feel like it was much more like, it felt more random in the first two songs, whereas this one felt more intentional. I mean, I know it's all intentional, but like this one just felt easier to comprehend, I guess, for me. Yeah. And that's interesting to think about that. And like you said, the vocals feel a little bit more prominent or a little more present in this one, especially at the beginning of the song, not just the very beginning when they're by themselves, but like the first big chunk of the song. And it makes total sense why that would be the single then.
Oh, you know? Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I was leading to. It makes total sense.
I think that you could have picked that. I think anybody could have picked that
off the album.
Listening to what we've heard so far, that one was that one's the lead single, because it's it is the way that it is.
Now I will say I do think, I do think the first. I want to keep track of this, but I do think the first track is still my favorite of the three we've heard. So I really liked that one a lot, and I liked the clean guitar section in that one a little bit more. And interestingly enough, it didn't have any of the like reverbed out lead guitar thing in the background like this one had, and then the previous one had. So, but I did like the first one a lot. So, interesting. We already have a whole video on that song, so let's just go ahead and move to track 4 if you're ready.
Yep.
Okay, this is Anomalous Descent. This is a new one you have not heard a second of. So we'll see what you think. In 3, 2, 1.
Good start.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Just those little short, and then they have the delay. Hey, Anomalous Descent. I heard him say that.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
There, he said it again. Oh, awesome, awesome. Whoa. That bass. It's amazing how the bass can slice through. Whoa. Dude, this is stupid. I love this. This is so awesome.
That's why it's so great.
Holy crap. Remind me after this song's over to say something about the delays. Okay?
Okay.
They have such cool little melodies in there. Like it's... What the hell is that? Bye, bye. That's... I love it. I love it. That's where we butter the bread with butter. Good Lord. Hey, this is the chorus a third time. I can't get over it. It's incredible.
It is incredible.
Okay, so
I thought in the first half of the song, I was like, maybe we fell off a little bit, but then like by the end, like, I mean, the very intro is awesome, but anyway.
See,
very good.
See, now there again, I thought I was going to say that's my new favorite one. I thought that was the best one so far.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean, I loved it.
Yeah.
Here's the thing I was going to say. It blows my mind. And I don't understand how this is possible. But when he goes like, yo, right? And then you hear the delay go, yo, 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 yo. You hear it get lower by like 5 dB each repeat. How the hell can we keep hearing it every time? Chris, we're getting assaulted by a billion things, and you can hear that little trickle of a thing in the middle. How is that even possible?
I mean, it has to be obnoxiously loud. Like it has.
You can hear it getting quieter though. It just kills me.
But it has to start like. Yeah, the whole dynamic range the lack of dynamic range on this whole thing is. It's incredible. One of the things that I was thinking, like, kind of on the same, well, whatever, in the same kind of vein.
Sure.
Maybe not at all. Is this one of the ones where the cymbals were recorded separately from the shells?
Ah, that's an interesting thought.
Because, like, on the last two songs, the first two, I was kind of like, I don't know, the cymbals, they're just... Like, they sound like cymbals, granted, but in those last two, maybe I'm just paying more attention. I could really hear things clearly. But they're so like small compared to how big everything else is, and like that, I think that's a little bit different than a lot of metal.
Yeah, I agree.
Right, because you usually use the overheads, and the whole feel of the drums is supposed to be what's completely enveloping.
Yes.
Right.
Which I don't necessarily care for that way to mix metal. Like I like it, like a lot of the Japanese metal I listen to, the drums are mono. So they'll just straight up have like almost everything in the middle, and maybe there's like a cymbal or a tom drum or something, but everything is recorded in mono. The overheads are not stereo. And to me, it makes the guitars feel way huger. I'm not saying it's better, but to me, it's some of that stuff.
Okay.
And it's a way different, but I like the way it makes the guitars feel way just huge. But I understand what you're saying. Like a lot of the times, you're just hearing this over the top of everything, and it's the cymbals. But in this case, it's not necessarily coming from that. You can so clearly hear. Now, I was going to ask you that too, actually. Same thing with the vocals. Is it just like really well done scooping out of the frequencies from everything else that those cymbals are? Like, are those cymbals the only things that are taking up, or at least pushing, those specific frequencies?
Unless they're like no, because
I mean, it can't be, right?
Because
everything sounds so good, though, right? Like, it doesn't sound like. The thing that kills me is the guitars are not low passed all to hell. There's definition in the guitars, like the rhythm guitars, the lead guitars as well. But like, much stuff doesn't. You can't hear any definition in the guitars at all because they just cut off every high frequency, and that's not the case here.
Oh no, it's no.
Yeah, I know, but it's disgusting
also,
how much stuff is like that.
Was there this much cool bass stuff on all the other ARCHSPIRE albums, and I just didn't think about it or remember it? Because there is so much cool bass stuff.
Yes.
Like, oh my God, that guy's working so freaking hard.
And the fact that you can so clearly hear it, I can't get over the mix. The fact that you can hear everything so clearly and everything is so defined, it kills me.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I think that what they're doing is that because you can't have everything, right? And I think that it is the rhythm guitars that are taking the hit a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, it's done very, very well. And like the trick is like, right. Like if we're going to talk about metal stuff that we listen to on the channel, the Sepsis by Lamb of God thing, right? The first 5 times I listened to that, I could not figure out how he was doing it because it just seems like, what's his name? Josh Wilbur had his cake and ate it too, like for that mix. And like, he doesn't, if you really listen, you can tell that like stuff goes away, but I think that that's what's doing it. And like, I guess one of the things that I notice about this, at least with what I'm listening to right now, it sounds very smooth to me. Like that speech intelligibility range stuff, like the harsh stuff it's not pokey.
Yeah.
And in a way, I like it, but also part of me, like, I'm monitoring pretty loudly tonight.
Oh, I'm listening super loud.
And I wish it hurt a little bit more. I don't think I should be able to listen like
as
it's not
loud as you are
obnoxious.
comfortably.
Yeah. Like it should be a little bit more painful than it is, but it should very hurt smooth. It should hurt a little bit more.
I totally understand what you're saying. I think it sounds fantastic. And you're saying it
really
sounds good too, but like, holy cow, I just can't. And maybe it's just because it's simpler than a guy thinks. You know, it's not to say that it's simple, but like once you dial everything in, it's just, that's how it sounds good that way. I mean, it's so stupid to say it that way, but like it is just guitar, drums, bass, cymbals, vocal.
50 vocal tracks
and tons of vocal, but
14 guitar tracks.
That's what I was going to ask when we were talking about the cymbals. 24. Like, the vocals, do they have? Is one of the reasons we can hear the perceived like lowering of the volume when they do those delays? I could think of a couple ways, but is one thing just the frequency of the vocals when the vocals are going? Like, could you have?
Well, that has to be it.
Could they have a multi-band compressor on everything so that when he is singing, the frequencies that his vocals are hitting, just those frequencies are being compressed or tamped down, or the volume of those frequencies are being lowered in everything else, and it's just set super. Like, is that even a thing? Do people mix stuff that way?
Like a side chain multiband,
a side chain multiband compressor for just the frequency range that the vocals are really sitting in,
I guess, or that the whole mix is set up like that because like the guitars, while they are like pretty well defined, and they are like you can hear everything that you need to hear for sure. I mean, some of the really fast parts, like where he's singing over that, like part of me wants to be able to hear that a little bit more effortlessly. But again, I'm not going to complain about this mix. But I think that the mix is just set up like that because, like, I mean, maybe the vocals are supposed to be like what's in that painful range, that, 2.5 to 5K octave. Right. Maybe that's what's doing that. And like, because those delays are not, I wasn't really listening to them, but they are not, there's none of that in there. It's all,
it is kind of, well, the other thing I was going to say is, instead of actually lowering the volume of them, they could just be putting a shelf on them and automating it to go down. So you're hearing less defining frequencies in it. So you perceiving the volume is going down. You know what I mean?
Yes.
It's just becoming less defined. And that's why we're still able to hear it. But like stuff like that just blows my mind. Let's listen to the next song, because I mean, it's going to sound sonically the same as everything we've heard. And then maybe we'll get some ideas. And I love doing this because then I can focus on the songs and think about the things we just talked about. You know what I mean? So like, this is a good, I mean, it is
unbelievably clever to fit all of this sound and all of those notes into the same headroom that everybody else has. It is really, I mean, it's very clever.
It's amazing.
It is really.
Yeah.
Okay.
Track 5, The Vessel, in 3, 2, 1.
Okay, this is a single. I heard this one.
Okay. There are the delays. Interesting. So there you could hear his background vocal with the effects on it. This part. Listen, this part continues.
Oh.
Back to the intro riff. Filter sweep. This part. Oh, that one just lone tom hit in there. Huh.
Well, and I guess now that you brought up the delays and stuff, I mean, maybe this is so obvious I didn't even think about it, but like, again, this mix is unbelievably clever.
Yeah.
But throughout the whole record, and this is probably just an ARCHSPIRE thing, and I just haven't thought about it that hard. But like, a big thing that they do, because like everything's kind of going at the same tempo, and like to change parts, they just dump a whole bunch of reverb. I mean, they don't just dump a whole bunch of reverb because you can't just do that. But like, there are parts with tons of time-based effects, and it sounds like super dense and like super big. And then even though the kick drum is still going the whole time, and then it like shrinks back down, and it like kind of feels like a band, and then it.
Yes.
But still, to do that with like no dynamic range, and the vocal thing that you were talking about, that was a great example of that, right? With there's layers, like there are held out vocal parts going on that you can still pretty clearly make out, and there's other going over the top of it. Like, it's very clever.
And to me, the thing that illustrated perfectly was when I listen to his vocals, one of the things I'm thinking of is like what are the layers they have on his vocals, and how did they treat them, and how is it panned, and what are they doing to it basically. And I think the thing that told me was they did that part a couple times throughout the song, but he would do that part where it was a little bit slower, and then he would extend it like you were saying, and then he would do a faster part over the top of it. And twice in the song, when that part was done, they went into another fast part where both the treatment on both of those two different vocal parts was very different, right? The one that was it was a slightly lower, I would consider it the background vocal part, where the one that he was holding out, that one. It was treated, it almost sounded like it had some like digital distortion or digital some amp effect or something on it, or they were just EQing it very differently or pushing different frequencies. But then when he would come over the top of it, it was a very clear, very lead vocal sounding part. But then after that, they would go into the next part of the song, had both of those same things going at the same time. And I have heard that throughout the album. And that was telling me that that's one way that they layer the vocals while he's doing the fast stuff and everything. And it's a way that they were making the vocals seem wider. We know that they're layering the vocals, but that was a really clear illustration, I guess, of how they're layering them, because you got to hear both parts independently and then come back together with the same exact vocal treatment. And it made it, all three of those parts felt different, even though the last one was just both of the first two parts together. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah. And so I think that was a great illustration of that, a great way to show that. And it's exactly what we're talking about. Also, I was really paying attention to the rhythm guitars there. And I think exactly what we were talking about is exactly what we were saying. The rhythm guitars, when he's doing his fast vocals and stuff, are basically non-existent. They're basically not there at all. And because it's so fast, what he's doing, you don't really notice that they go away. But then when they're really emphasizing the things that they want you to hear at any given time. And that's the kind of brilliance of what this is. Your ear is drawn to what they want you to focus on. And I would not be surprised if you and I are sitting here listening to it and our ear is being turned to the same thing as the mix is going on. You know what I mean? And I think
absolutely.
And I think that's totally intentional, and that's the part that's done super well.
There's no way it can't be.
I know, right, for sure. But like I was really listening to what the rhythm guitars basically have. Like, I mean, there are parts where to me it sounded like it was like there was nothing on them above 500 frequencies. 500 hertz, like nothing. And then they would come back in and it'd feel really heavy, but there weren't really any vocals during that part.
But it's all done so slickly.
Yes, exactly.
Like you don't even, and that's kind of what I was saying about Sepsis, is that it took me, and like now, right, we're already 25 minutes into this album or whatever, and like I'm starting to be able to pick up on some of that stuff, but like listening to the singles a few times, I had no idea. And if I listened to the same song on repeat for half an hour, you could probably start to pick up on like how they're pulling some of this stuff off. And like, just because you can figure it out, like, I don't think that I could just go do that tomorrow.
Oh no.
Like it's so good.
Yeah,
and to do those tricks, and like, ARCHSPIRE is the pinnacle of music. And if you're not trying to do this with your playing or singing or mixing or tracking, then I mean, what are you even trying for?
You sell out.
But, well, I mean, I'm making a joke, but like,
no, I know.
I'm also kind of serious. Like, it does not get harder than this. I was listening to some Celine Dion earlier today.
As one does.
As one does. I've been hearing a lot about Celine Dion for some reason or another. And so I listened to some Celine Dion. Celine Dion, again, Canadian. And many people say that, like, maybe she's the best singer of all time. That's an opinion thing. But, like, whatever. She's in that tier of people that can sing very well. And so I was listening to whatever the hits, which really, I think that in my humble opinion, there's only one Celine Dion hit, and it's the Titanic song. I don't really care about any of the other stuff. But I listened to a few, like maybe 3 songs, and maybe skip through a couple more, that like, you have this absolutely beautiful vocal on it, and that is what most people are paying attention to. And God bless you if you love singing that much, which obviously Patrick and I do not, at least me. But then you listen, and like over on the right side, there is like some terrible like drum machine hi-hat playing. Whatever. Get the best string players in the world. Get the best singer in the world. Put some reverb on it, and then still you can sneak in a crappy MIDI hi-hat over in the corner, and it's fine. You can't do that here.
No.
Like, everything has to fit together, so I don't think, I don't know. Maybe I'm biased. I am biased. But, like, I think that this is harder in every single way. Like, the people that win Grammys for doing, like, superstar singer records, God bless America, and great for them for getting great paying work. But, like, I would argue that these poutine suckers up there did something that was more difficult.
I think, well, I mean, it's kind of apples to oranges. I mean, which is exactly, I mean, you know, but like, I do. But I mean, and we've talked about it before, like it's just it's a degree of difficulty that I think is the same. It's just, it's different. It's difficult in completely different ways, you know? But I will also say that like a lot of stuff that's super popular isn't really difficult at all, you know? And that's not to diminish it. I don't think something has to be difficult in order to be good.
Well done, but like,
yeah, for sure. But it can also be simple and still good. Like, it doesn't have to be difficult in order to be good. I think it has to be good in order to be good. Like, I don't think that something can sound like crap and still be considered good or great, but that's my opinion, which I know a lot of people don't agree with, and they constantly tell me that in the comments of our videos, because people get mad at me when I talk about how production is so important to me, and the way a song sounds is so much more important to me than what the song actually is, like the melody and the message and the lyrics and stuff. And people just don't listen to music the way that we do as much, which is totally fine. That's why I think so many people do enjoy hearing us talk about this stuff. But anyway, that's kind of getting outside of the realm of this. But like, I agree with you that this is like masterfully done in a lot of ways that is super, super difficult. And I would be really curious to hear something else that this guy produced. You know, the guy who we need to thank for making this album sound this way, what else has he done that we can listen to? Because I would be really curious about that. Because so many things we listen to here on the channel, all we do is sit here and complain about it because the obvious things to notice are the negative things.
Oh.
What'd you find out? What'd you find out?
Well, that he did the Anthropocene Extinction by Cal Decap, which I thought sounded really good.
You said that they had a fantastic sounding album.
All of the ARCHSPIRE albums were him.
Okay.
And then some of these. What is this one? Act of Defiance. I thought maybe I knew what that was. It only says 19 pages on the Wikipedia without looking too much. What is this one? Oh, and then the newer Cattle Decap. It came out in 2023. That was him too. But that, oh, okay. A bunch of Cattle Decap. Anyway. Yeah, well, and I mean, like, that is not to say that, you know, the songs are well written, and like,
Sure.
That's a thing too, because like you could just make guitar go brrr and drums go brrr and do that for 5 minutes at a time, but like it's still interesting to listen to, and the production is absolutely part of that. But the songwriting is, to a lot of people, it's at least as important.
I agree
that it's interesting, and I like that they have a thing, and I read somewhere about a like description of ARCHSPIRE. And it was saying that, you know, play absolutely crazy breakneck blast beats, and then it goes to clean guitar. And like, what a great thing. And what else are you going to do?
Right. Well, yeah, you can't.
Thank God for not singing. Thank God, Oliver, for not singing.
Right.
And just completely ruining this.
Right. Yeah, I think, yeah. For sure. And I will say so far, now, maybe if I was listening to every one of these songs in a row, I would be getting a little tired of it, or, you know, a little bit over it, I guess. But I'm not. You know, we're spending time talking between each song, but I don't feel fatigue from this at all. It's still fascinating for me to listen to. And maybe part of that is my ability to just focus on the things that we're focusing on, you know, while we're doing it, rather than, you know, than a more simplified way of listening. But yeah, it hasn't lost my attention yet. So what were we going to say? Something?
Nothing. Okay. Let's go on to the next one.
We'll go on. Okay. So next one is the second most played song on Spotify, at least, Limb of Leviticus. And this is the longest song on the album. So we'll see. This must be the ballad. So here we go with the ballad, Limb of Leviticus, in 3, 2, 1. A lot more noticeable reverb there.
Yeah, on the toms right there, yes. At least.
And the snare drum. But now it's gone. Now it sounds like normal. Was that the snare drum that was keeping going? I don't even know what drum that was.
I don't know.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, let's go. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The bass.
So good. The whole record is so good.
He's playing a lot of high notes, which tells you that low frequencies are not necessarily coming from the bass. Oh my god, his vocals are insane. About time. We went 2 minutes 33 seconds there without a break. You know, every time I focus on something different, I'm like, I can't believe what I'm hearing. And then I'll focus on his vocals and I'm like, I can't believe this. And then I'll listen to the guitars and I'm like, what the hell? It's like amazing. I'll bet live, their shows like during these parts are just like crazy, with people just like swaying and like breathing really heavy, and then just killing each other the rest of the time. Or is this so complex you can't really mosh to this, and people are just in the crowd going like that the whole time, you know?
No, people are beating each other up.
I'm sure. Listen to the definition there.
Yeah, well, it's the dry part, right? And then it's
yes.
With the vocals, at least, and the lead guitar.
Dude, oh my, the drums. That fill went for like 3 measures. Dude, that is so... it's so gratifying and satisfying to listen to. Listen, it's being brought up, the music. His vocals are...
Yeah, and the vocals are coming down.
Yeah, they couldn't push that any farther. It would have started to get ridiculous.
Yes.
It was totally acceptable before. Any further and it would have been ridiculous.
The bass in the clean parts is so... Well, like when you can really hear the pick attack like you can in here. Like, it's so good.
Ending it a little dissonantly.
Wow, with a 10-second fade out. Holy shit. And I think that the part, I was going to say this earlier, about the clean parts.
Yeah.
Number one, the bass tone is so good throughout, but in the clean parts, it's like when you can hear the strings slapping the frets, like it's just, that's what metal bass is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
But like the whole rest of it, when the whole band is going and it's like everything is so wall of sound, and there's so many overdubs, and it's so thick. It's like robotic, like in the best possible way, right? Like, yes. But then when those parts come up, like, you can really hear that is a human playing those instruments.
Yes.
And, like, not all the notes are perfectly intonated. The timing gets a little bit, I mean, like, musically, but it's not like laser precision, and like, right, you can hear slides on the frets, and right, like, intonation differences and stuff. That it's fascinating.
Yeah, it really helps ground the whole thing. 1000%. One thing I noticed there, and I don't know if I've ever thought this about a band before. I'm sure I have, but subconsciously. But like the thing to me that song illustrated and that I loved, right? The guitars were doing the right, and so what he was doing on the vocals was when the guitars were going and then when it got to the he would go ba 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 ba. And the thing I realized there was and I think, like I said, this is the first time I'm ever saying this. His vocals are just as brutal as the guitars are, which I don't know if I've ever thought that before. I'm sure that, I mean, there's crazy vocalists doing all sorts of stuff, but like the fact that what they're doing is so crazy, and his vocals are obviously insane the entire time, but just the fact that he can hold his own against a metal band doing that and be just as heavy and brutal is so cool. And it just goes to show you how brilliant it's all put together. The puzzle is being put together, you know, like, because it doesn't sound like anything's missing at any point in the song, no matter what they're doing. It always sounds the same level of like insanity. And that's awesome.
Yes.
And that's because of the way they're writing the songs, but also, as we've now said for an hour and 30 minutes, it's because of how great the mix is. So,
yes.
1000%. Okay, so now we have 2 songs in a row that you have not heard at all. So we're pretty excited about this. Deadbolt the Backward in 3, 2, 1. His lead vocal sounds a little different here. A little wimpier, but I don't know, maybe he's doing it higher, kind of, higher frequency. I don't know.
Absolutely nasty guitars in that part where all I had to listen to. Boy.
That's so stupid. Oh my gosh. think he's harmonizing that on the bass. That's stupid. So do you think they had 2 tracks of bass there? The rhythm bass and then the lead bass part there?
I don't know. Whatever those intervals on the guitar are just so sweet.
That one, I don't think that one was my favorite. That was the only one that we've had that didn't have a slow part anywhere in it, like in the middle, or no breakdown part. But I still think that song was basically made up of, it felt like to me, all parts that we've already heard across the album. Like that one didn't seem to have anything original in it that we hadn't heard yet, I guess.
I thought the low end was more brutal than
it could have been.
I think that there's this thing that I should probably have a better technical description for. I got a different low end sensation. Like it was very loud and very compressed and very low.
Interesting.
That I haven't gotten the rest of the time. Especially there's a few just like individual hits at the beginning of the song, I thought, that were like that. And then,
do you think that song was in a different key? It didn't sound like it, really.
I don't think so.
Yeah. There was some interesting stuff. One of the things I was going to mention earlier that I forgot is I really like that some of his like crazy guttural noises, you can just picture in it. You can see in your mind's eye so clearly how he's moving his mouth. You know, he's going like, you know what I mean? You can like just picture his mouth moving, which it makes me chuckle every time. But I love stuff like that when you do like a pig squeal into another thing, into like a thing. And it's like, you can just imagine the guy like trying so hard to do it, you know. I don't know. It's just funny to me, but all done very well. So, yeah, not my favorite.
Oh, this is saying.
Okay.
Just read it from a 30-second look. Like I'm not. It does not matter to me really what ARCHSPIRE tuning is, because I do not have guitars with that many strings, and nor do I have any business trying to play any of these riffs.
Sure.
But it says here, for the guitar players, this will mean very little to Patrick, that it's 8-string guitars, but it's E from low to high, E, A, E, A, D, G, B, E. So the top, or the low 2 strings, the strings closest to the ceiling, are just octaves of the ones above it.
Interesting.
That's really interesting. That makes sense. Oh, and then so you sort of get a drop effect where your octaves are on the same fret. That's kind of cool. And then you still have standard tuning on the top 6 strings.
Okay.
That's fascinating. So ARCHSPIRE is just in standard tuning.
Which is pretty crazy to think.
That's a joke. But
yeah.
Arguably is, well, whatever. Doesn't matter. As low as the standard tune bass would be the lowest string. Would be the lowest string on a standard tune bass. E1.
Interesting. Yeah, that song did feel like there was a few moments that got a little djenty almost with what they did on the guitar, but just for a few like notes, like here or there, where they left something ring out just a little bit longer. But it did feel like they hit some of those djenty feeling frequencies, I guess, which we haven't really heard that pronounced, at least I don't think. One last thing I want to say, we talk here on the channel all the time about the last track on an album having final song vibes. So do we think that this song will feel even remotely like a final song? Like, is this going to be any different than anything we've heard on the album so far, or will it just be the same thing?
It better be faster because it has the word fast in the title.
Okay, you think so? Okay,
and they are the world's fastest band.
Okay. And this is the title track to the album. So
I suppose it is.
So okay, so we'll see. We'll see if this song has final track vibes. I'm always so fascinated in that, and I personally believe that the final song on your album should feel somewhat like a closing song to the album. It doesn't have to be slow, but it should feel like a little different than the rest of the album because it's the final song. That's my opinion. All right, Too Fast to Die in 3, 2, 1.
It's really fast.
Whoa. So that was 4 tracks of rhythm. Which actually they're probably doing a lot.
It's really fast.
Yes. The bass.
It sounds so good.
Interesting. They'll do something. They're fading out too early. Are they going to pull a Beatles and fade back in? They are not going to. So they're too fast to die, but too lazy to write the end of the song. Boo. Boo to that.
Yeah, okay, for sure.
Okay, let's not let that taint it too much, because this is a special thing we just listened to, but come on, guys. There's never, well, so just say it once, I'll say it now. There's literally never a good excuse to fade a song out. Okay, ever. I don't even care if you were making music in the 40s and you could only fit 1 minute and 37 seconds onto one side of a 78. You write a 1 minute and 36 second long song so that you have a second of trail at the end. That's what you do. Don't ever fade your songs out, boys and girls. But anyway, that was so 2 songs in a row had no break, no guitar part, no slow thing. But those 2 final songs were balls to the wall. The second it started to the second the last song was done.
I think the last one, yeah.
So interesting.
Faster.
Huh?
It was a little faster.
Oh,
and
it definitely felt faster.
There was some drum sounds in that one. The one where the snares are going that. Instead of the other thing.
Yeah.
There was a more like whatever real. It sounded more like a drum kit in a room.
Yes. Yeah.
Than a lot of the parts it did. I don't know. I'd have to go listen to it a lot more. But
yeah.
I think I will because
Heck yeah, dude. Do you think this will be your #1 album of the year?
Maybe. I don't really do those lists like you do.
I know you don't.
But,
I know. I'm just curious if you.
One of my favorites.
Yeah, curious if you think that there's something else coming out that would beat it. I mean, we're only a quarter of the way through the year, so.
I've listened to the new Exhumed quite a bit.
Okay.
I really like that. And then, oh, wait, there was something else. That's probably embarrassing. There's probably something that I really liked that I'm missing right now. Anyway, doesn't matter.
Well, I was curious. We won't talk about this very long, but have you ever heard of a band called Inferi? It's INFER.
Oh,
they just released a new album this last weekend, and I was listening to a little bit of it, and I was like, this sounds like definitely something more Chris would enjoy. Their last album I liked a lot, but compared to this new one just seems like crazy, like 1,000-mile-an-hour metal the entire time. But their last album had a lot more like stuff that I could enjoy on it. But you should check out the new one. That's all I'm saying. Check that out. I'm not saying it's not like this, and if we went and listened to some of it now, I bet it'd sound terrible garbage compared to this. But you should at least check it out.
I will.
It's called Heaven Wept, is their new album. Yeah.
Yep. I saw that come up on some stuff here. I'm going to hit play on it right now so it plays when I get in the car tomorrow morning.
Yep, there you go. Yeah.
That was awesome.
It was.
Another thing that I meant to bring up about the mixing that, I don't know, I think it's hard to do and to get it right, but like there are so many, like sometimes on the first listen, again, if you're the first new to the channel, you're not listening this far, but we don't listen to this stuff ahead of time. There are no notes. We don't do any research. I think that it's hard to do and to get it to sound right, but there are so many fade-ins of like stuff. Like sometimes it's reverb, sometimes it's a whole nother track on this, and it's such a great stress thing. It's yes. Whatever. It's a riser like in electronic music, but it's just done really well.
Yes, yeah. The way that song started was really cool. With that, they had the extra, the constant layer of really far wide left, wide right rhythm guitar, and then the stabs of rhythm guitar panned way more to the center, but still out a little bit. And then after it did that for a few rounds, it all came together, and then they snapped their fingers and everything snapped back into the place that it has been across the album. That kind of stuff is really nice. Because, and also I just want to say, because, sorry, I just thought of this and I want to make sure I say it. We listen to stuff all the time that's heavy, and then in the context of an album that is like 80 to 90% heavy, then there are moments on the album that aren't heavy, and the mastering engineer has no clue what to do with those parts. Not the case here. Handled super well across the entire thing. Like we've said, we've talked about how good all those like minimalistic parts sound, but the fact that your brain doesn't go, wait, this is way too quiet, or man, this sounds compressed and squashed, handled very well. And the same thing is true for every intro of every song and the outro of every song, and any section of the song where all of a sudden for 1 second there or one measure there's something playing by itself. It doesn't just, nothing jumps out at you to a crazy volume or feels buried. It all feels very intentional and very well done. So
and for the first 5 songs, there was at least a tom fill or 2 that was like so much louder than the drums had been the whole rest of the time.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like we called a couple of them out.
Yep.
And like to pull off all of the automation that is done on this, and like, unless you're like listening for that kind of stuff, which some people do, including us, like I think that it would just, and that's what it's supposed to do. Like you're not supposed to know that all of that's going on. You're just supposed to be like, how is this possible?
Right.
And but it's just so good.
Yeah. It's
so
really done really well, the entire thing. So I do have to say, from a personal standpoint, I do feel like those last 2 songs were a little bit tougher to get through, especially in a row, because there wasn't any slow part. And I'm not saying that I enjoyed the slow parts more than the fast part or anything, but those parts give you a moment to rest and kind of be like, okay, and not having those in there, it did feel like a lot. Because that's a total of almost 10, or it's over a total of 10 minutes. It's 10 minutes and 4 seconds of, or no, I guess it's 9 minutes. No, it'd be 10 minutes and 4 seconds, I think. So like it's 10 minutes and 4 seconds of literal nonstop assault on you. And that was a little too much for me. I think it's tough the way we're listening to it, obviously with the break in between, but I appreciate on the 6 tracks before that, there was at least one moment in the middle of a song or somewhere where you could kind of just take a breath. And I appreciate that a lot.
I think on the next ARCHSPIRE album, I think that they are going to do more just like heavy, whatever, metalcore type thing.
Breakdowny stuff,
like maybe. And there's some of it, like there's some of that scattered, and I'm whatever.
Sure.
Sorry, I said the M word in there, but I think that they're gonna do that. And then the other thing that I thought would have been really cool is that I would have liked to hear like a really cool shreddy solo over one of those.
Breakdowny parts. Yeah.
No, the slow parts.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Because there wasn't like what they do is unbelievably cool with all the arpeggiated things and things moving around and the whatever, and the chord progressions they have going on in there are super cool. But there wasn't ever a solo over one, and I think that would be really cool too.
Do you think this album will grow the band? Like, do you think they're going to get more eyes on them?
I'm sure that that's already the case. I know that like a couple years ago, they were in Lawrence, Kansas, which is not too far for me. Too far for me to go at my age, like on a Tuesday. But I think that their tour is bigger. I know they went to Australia or New Zealand or both as part of this thing. I don't know. I think so. Like, it's cool and it's novel, and like, I mean, it's not completely novel, but it's interesting that it's just like so much all the time. And that was the first way, when they were on Relentless Mutation, that like the first time I heard it, I just like freaked out because I've like never heard anything that was like that. It was like so cleanly played, and the audio sounds so good, and it is just obnoxious, like fast and technical the whole time, and that's what makes it cool.
Do you want to guess how many monthly listeners they have on Spotify, which is not an end-all be-all number or anything, and those can fluctuate obviously by month, and they just released an album, so they probably have more now, but do you want to guess? Does Tidal say?
How many's... I think that Tidal just tracks followers. And it's like embarrassingly low.
Sure, well, yeah, but...
Tidal.
So
I don't know how many. Tell me how many Metallica has this month.
Metallica has like I think like probably 20 million. Let me look. Oh, that could be Metallica has 32 million.
150,000.
264,000.
Okay.
Which is actually really good, because we do reactions to bands on here sometimes that have like less than 150,000. I mean, not that that means anything. I've done reactions to people who have less than 6,000 followers, just because I thought the album was fantastic and I wanted to show them off a little. But 264,000 is pretty good, especially for something like this that you said is so specific with what it's doing. And it only speaks to a small proportion of people, I would think, probably.
But I think it's so ridiculous because, like,
yeah,
because it's so ridiculous, I think that it actually has a
broader appeal.
Yeah,
I agree.
mean, a few songs in, I was like, wow, Patrick actually likes this. And I'm like, oh, it's just because it is so ridiculous. Because if it was grimier or like... whatever, traditionally heavier, I don't think that you could have made it through 40 minutes of that without
probably not
the whole time.
Probably not. And I do think too, this is silly, but I think it is important. The dudes in the band seem fun and cool. Like, just from the one video we watched and the artwork that they use, like, you can tell these dudes are like just cool dudes. And I think that that helps a lot, because if you have people that look obnoxious, like those Polyphia morons, you know. And I don't have no problem saying that, because we'll never react to Polyphia on this channel again, because people are idiots. But like those dudes, and then these dudes, you know, who would you rather chill and hang out with? These dudes, you know. Nothing against Tim Henson, other than the fact that he looks like Justin Bieber. But other than that,
wow. Also Canadian. Oh, we already brought that up, that Justin Bieber's Canadian. Did we?
Well, is Polyphia? Hey Google, where is Polyphia from?
They're from Texas.
Oh, well, the Canada of the U.S. That doesn't make any sense.
I don't think that anybody would agree with that at all in any way.
That joke went woo. But anyway, one thing I do want to say about this, and this is something that kind of frustrates me a little bit, but it's funny. This is the type of band that ruins other metal bands for people. Like, you can't listen to this and then go listen to something else and be like, well, I guess I can't enjoy this anymore. You know what I mean? Because it's like like when we were in college and Jason tried showing me Dream Theater, I was like, why? Why would someone watch this? Like, I don't want to see this. This is too... Like, this is just too much. It's too much to me, you know? Now, he probably went to their most crazy, complicated technical song and showed me some live DVD of them performing that sounded incredible or whatever, you know? I don't remember what it was at the time. And I have heard a Dream Theater album now, and I wouldn't say that it's, you know, it's the greatest thing I've ever heard.
Did you go back and listen to it after you did the video?
Since we did the video? Like, listen to their album from last year, the one we reacted to? No.
Oh, and the one from last year.
Yeah, it was their album from last year.
I tried to listen to one of the singles that came out of that, and like, I will not agree with you on Polyphia because I like Polyphia, but I
just like to give Polyphia crap because of how mean all their fans were to us.
Well, I think to you, I don't think that was a to us.
And we weren't talking. All I said, I commented on their dumb looking appearance, and that's what people got so mad at me about. But then we were sitting there slack jawed the entire time because the music was so incredible.
I think their stuff looks really cool. And it's not my thing at all, because I would rather have blood and guts and grime. But
right.
It's incredible. But Dream Theater, I don't know. Nobody's going to watch this, so I can say I don't like Dream Theater. I try to do it. I think that their singer is kind of annoying. Like I don't like it.
I was afraid it was going to be well, we don't have to talk about it forever, but like I think
but Petrucci and Jordan Rudess and the drummer whose name is White. I cannot get the name Mike Patton out of my head right now.
No, it's Portnoy. Mike Portnoy.
Yeah, Mike Portnoy.
Portnoy. Yeah.
They are so good.
Yeah.
But like I don't need to hear that.
Well, I enjoyed I think that I would like Dream Theater if I heard the right thing. And in our reaction to it, people were saying that isn't their best album. Their one from last year. That it wasn't like their best thing that they've ever done. So people were saying they wanted us to listen to.
But it was kind of a return, right? Because Portnoy left.
Yes, that was his first album with them in quite a while.
Yeah.
People want us to listen to.
Portnoy seems cool.
I think all the guys seem cool, but yeah, they want us to listen to Images and Words.
Do you ever see the stuff that Jordan Rudess puts on? I'm probably saying that with the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable there. Is it Rudess? Their keyboard player does some really
like on
cool,
YouTube.
Yeah, on social media somewhere. He seems super cool, and he is like unbelievably.
Yeah,
skilled.
I don't think I've come across that. I've seen them do videos with like Drumeo and stuff where they do the like.
Portnoy on Drumeo is pretty sweet.
Right.
But
yeah. And I think that their keyboardist did a similar thing for the keyboard version of that, yes. Where like people hear like songs and try to learn them within like a day and stuff like that. I think I've seen a couple of those things, but I honestly, I tend to not watch much music YouTube stuff. And I don't know if it's just because we do what we do here, and I guess I get my fill of that. But like, plus, why would I want to expand my knowledge, and actually become more intelligent about what we're talking about? I don't want to do that.
I'd never watch album reviews. I never watch anything like this.
Oh, I know. I don't really do that anymore.
I mean, you must watch some because like what things are. Like,
yes.
When there's trends and stuff.
Yeah. You know what I reacted to the other day that I did? Have you seen the Angine D Porto thing yet?
It's pretty cool.
It is Angine D Poitrine.
Well, you have to say it French, but yes.
Whatever. Angine de Poitrine. There's the French for you.
You try to do it Italian.
I did. That was a joke.
Italian hand gestures. Okay, yes.
But anyway.
You didn't like it.
No, I did. I did like it. I don't care for like loop-based stuff. Like when street performers do the like loop pedal thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't care for that because to me it's like...
Not an Ed Sheeran guy.
Well, because it's all performance based. Like the entire point of it is the performing aspect of it. You know what I mean? Like it's meant to be impressive looking because of the performing aspect of it. And it is technically impressive, I think, too, but it's not, I don't think that it's as technically impressive as people think that it is. And they're phenomenal, those guys, obviously. And their drumming was fantastic. The whole time I couldn't take my eyes away from the drummer, which is like, and I'm sure he's the secondary person in the thing. And it's cool because of the robotic, like alien thing and the like this thing and that crap. That stuff was all fun, but it wasn't for me, which is fine. Doesn't have to be.
I didn't think that would be for you. I'm very surprised that you...
Well, people have been talking about it, just like you just said. And so, like, even though I don't... I think it was a fun thing to do. And
a month late to the game.
I know. We had people telling me to do it in our Discord. So I was like, I should do this, we try to react to stuff here, like be reactionary to the things that are coming out. That's why we did the Great Evanescence single reaction over the weekend. But...
Oh, is that what you were saying, that there was a new Evanescence single?
Yes, and that's why I've been bringing Amy Lee up and stuff, because our video just went live yesterday, and it's got like, 2,000, 3,000 views on it or whatever. So, which is pretty good for us. So, I'm curious to see how many views this will get. Our solo, or our single song reaction to this, I think got like close to 2,000 views, which is pretty good, I would think, for a band that we don't talk about on our Discord or anything like that. Hey, if you want to know something interesting,
nobody
Chris,
on our Discord tagged me and said new ARCHSPIRE Day on Friday, and I'm pretty disappointed in all of them. Because
you talked to some of the guys on there about some pretty hardcore stuff. And then you guys will like point out and stuff like, oh, here's the, hold on, let me just look real quick how many views are. The Abbey Road reaction has 13,000. The Gorillas reaction has 3,000. Our Trivium reaction has 4,500. My last 21 Pilots video has 9,500. And ARCHSPIRE single has 1,000. And shout out to ARCHSPIRE
when did we put that video out?
A month ago. 2 months ago. 2 months ago.
What? That's it?
Yep, 2 months ago. And shout out to ARCHSPIRE for being one of only like maybe 3 bands we've ever done anything with on the channel here that allowed me to share revenue. So if 1 million people watch this video, we'll get half of the revenue from this video.
Yes, I'm sure Lindy will watch.
But every other artist on the planet takes all the ad revenue. So shout out to ARCHSPIRE and the people who run their team and their YouTube stuff for allowing their music to be used like that.
We worked absolutely half as hard as you guys did to make this video.
I think so. Yeah. I had to sit here and listen to that garbage the whole time and pretend I liked it.
They only that first single came out December 9th.
Really?
So that's only 4. Okay.
It's like 2 months, 6 weeks or so.
December to
April? I thought you meant, sorry, since when our video came out. You're right.
No, like I was just trying to think about how long their
release window was.
So all of December, January, February, March.
Yeah.
Wait, and not all of April. Yeah, so 4 months. That's not totally egregious.
No, I don't think so. And they released 1 single a month. It seems like then basically.
Then that is
probably what they ended up doing. So that's cool. That's not a bad release strategy. You know, it's kind of a bummer when a band does release half the album before the album comes out because it kind of feels like a little less impactful, but I don't know. Anyway, I thought this was great. I enjoyed it.
It was.
There's no way this will end up on my top 12 albums of the year list this year. I think in other years, I think it could have.
I'm very proud of you for liking it as much as you did.
I did like it. I did. I was kidding a second ago when I said I was faking it, but because I would never fake something like that. I would tell you how bad it was, but I really did like it. And I think that this year is just a fantastic year for me personally. A lot of bands that I love have released music. So I don't think that they'll be on my list for this year, but it's definitely worth, I'm glad we did the reaction to this. I'm glad we did. Okay, everybody, thank you so much. We've talked about our Discord multiple times, so you guys have no excuse. If you're still here, you must enjoy what we're doing, and you are either already on the Discord, so thank you for that. Shout out to how awesome you are, or you're digging what we're doing, and so you should go check out our Discord and join and talk to us there. You can tag us in it. We'll talk directly to you. If you give a crap about that. But we have way cooler people.
And I boot everybody that talks about Evanescence. Yeah. So we're keeping that to a minimum.
Well, until the new album comes out in 2 months. But then we'll be Evanescence.
Get it on a different channel.
We'll create our own Evanescence channel. You know, the new Evanescence is definitely the most metal thing they've ever released. And so when we react to that reaction, I will put it in our metal playlist. So metal will be there alongside ARCHSPIRE.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much. We'll see you next time.
Bye.